Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of SKE48 After taking a break last week from the member introduction, we continue this week with Team E. Of course, we will also take a moment for the concert in Saitama Super Arena. I'm Chris and joining me as usual are Nick.
Hey, what's up?
Jeff.
Yeah.
And Willy.
Yes.
Yeah, starting with the news first on 27th.
Oh, that's me. Hey, so there's been an announcement that now before Ichiban no Musubi, there's going to be a showroom. So this is going to be so the first time is going to be today actually, the 3rd of April. They're going to be having it from 7:30 to 9. It's a showroom stream, which they'll be doing from actually it says here so it's going to be every week, every Tuesday, right before Musubi from 7:30 to 9. They're going to have, I think, about 2 members. It doesn't say here, but the first episode will be Yuki-chan and Ruka, Kitano Ruka. So those two will be doing that for the first time. So apart from that, there's no real information about this, but I assume they'll be just talking about the Musubi and other things because it's quite long. Yep.
Next on 31st, there was, of course, the concert in Saitama Super Arena, which I luckily got a ticket from Twitter on. So I went to see this one. It started at noon, so it was nice to get there and go back. And it was announced that Machi Otoha was missing the concert because of physical condition. Other than that, all members appeared, and they promised that would have an unconventional opening like this. And it indeed was. Like when entering the venue, first we got a questionnaire with 7 questions, I think. You could answer when you're a mobile member and then just scan a QR code and go onto the page. And next we had, when they opened, of course it started with the overture, but then just the lights went on and first there was an announcement from Yuasa, just acting as the head teacher or so of the school, saying that that Makiko will do a short speech, which he then did, like you would have at a school entrance ceremony. And then they said, now we're gonna sing our school hymn or our school song, which kind of was confusing first, but turned out to be SKE48, the song, played on with piano by Nojima Kano, and they were just singing along, which actually sounded pretty nice. Kano did a really good job on this. And then, when we all were about to sit down again to hear another speech, they started the real concert with "I'm Our Love Song," for example, which got everyone, of course, pumped up. After the first MC, we had the first units, which should represent like the cool kids, the sporty kids, the energetic kids, and the cute kids at school. So we had Wimbledon, Netzretti Tet, for example, or Galaxy of Dreams, Gonna Jump, for example, which all were pretty nice. By the way, my seat wasn't also that bad. I was in the rear part of the arena, not in the arena, but on the standing seats on the sides. But in the rear part of this, but pretty close to the stages. So whenever they performed on the rear stage, I could see them. And I think one or 2 times I and one time Sen was sitting right in front of me, so perfect.
And they said they were going to the people on the rear end were going to see a lot of things.
Yeah.
So did they go around the stage a lot? I've seen they got a lot of platforms. Did they use it?
Yeah, they had one center stage, one rear stage, and the main stage, and then runways around the arena and through the arena too. So I guess we can attach an image of that. So for, of course, the unit songs or so, they were either on the middle platform or the rear platform or so on. But for the group songs, usually the members came around and spread around the whole walkway, so you had at least 1 or 2 members really close to you. Then, just as I said, luckily for me it was I and one Chan often.
And nobody fell off, so...
Yeah, this time. But I was like, it was no surprise that it happened last time and this time for the AKB concert, because I think the runways were wider than 1.5 meters or so, or even less. So you can imagine you're dancing in the tower and just do a wrong step. And it's pretty high, so I'm not sure. Maybe they should do more for security. Look pretty dangerous.
Yeah, because we've got like one HKT, one AKB who fell off this time too, so...
Yeah, and those things are high, like about 3 meters or so, which is really not good. All down there. For the next MC, it was they taught us the answers to the question of the questionnaire we had before. So they had a couple of funny things. One was some were really easy, like which anniversary does SKE have this year? And some were pretty difficult in a way, like for example, what does Minarun fear the most at the moment, or is thinking about at the moment, or what does Kaotan want to do before the world ends? So these were difficult ones. Or one that was probably relatively simply was the asking what big fail Lala had during the stages last year. And since they talked about this anniversary too, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But they showed the VDR again, the video, so we all got to laugh. Also for Churi, they asked what big fail she had during request hour. And it was apparently she was sitting on the stairs on the back when her own song came up. So they showed a VDR of this too. And it was a lot of fun at this. And every fan who got all questions right could download a special concert image on the mobile side. But when they asked who got it right, there were really few fans who were showing their pin lights. So I assume especially Kaotan and Minarun question most of them. It was just totally random stuff you could get lucky, right, I guess. After that, they performed all the units from the new single, starting with Love Crescendo and then all the others, which was nice to see the Konsanga 7, which are on the theater edition version, so you don't have a MV for that. And then the Kenkyusei performed Yume no Kaidan no Agade, and then the Draft 3 performed Aozora Kataramoi, which was pretty good, I think. They did a really good job. Then the teams started their songs, always with a medley of 3 songs. First Team S, then K2 and D. Were solid choices, I think. And good fun to cheer on. For the next MC, it was first introduction of the 5 draftees. And then they left the stage, and some members presented rules you should follow if you want to stay in the SKE school. And for example, Ego Yuna said, even if you're Hakuoshi, don't go to other members' lanes. Just pick one member.
Man, I'm out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, bye-bye.
You too.
Me? Why?
Yeah. You're going to at least 2 other members' lanes.
Yeah, but it doesn't count.
Of course. Then Heidi said, even when I'm at the selling points at handshake events, don't go away from there. You can still come. Don't know if people really do this. Probably the funniest one was Yuki-chan, who just said, when you talk to us, please look us in the eyes and not somewhere else. Yeah.
Why would Yuki-chan say that, of all people?
Yeah, I have no idea why people would let you like so.
Yeah, exactly. That's creepy.
I'm pretty sure Satokao was looking at her like, why is she saying that?
Yeah.
The funny thing was the cameraman actually just in this moment they switched to Alex. Talking about this. Then musically just said you shouldn't share mobile map pictures on any sites, which is of course obvious. And Kaotan just brought up the old topic of just keeping a basic level of hygiene, of cleanliness. when you go to events.
Your fans don't learn.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, and since last time when they were in Saitama Super Arena, so 2014, after the shuffle, they performed as opening all their current songs. First 14 should be. So just as a consequence of this, they now perform the remaining songs, starting from Bukyo Tayo until Mochiki no Ido. It was really great to get all this. Kunigatsu no Kangaru is always a really great live, because you can do so many shows. They included Natsuyo Isoge in this, even though it's technically not a single, I guess. And with that, the main concert ended, and for the encore we had Akushuku no Ai, where the members went to the seats and close to us, even though not very close to the place where I was standing. And then for the final MC, it was just the 4 members from Saitama, so Sarina, Rinka, Yukina, and Kaotan were just saying their impressions. And no announcements. But I guess they are saving for the Gaishi concert. Are they doing something?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And no, it was a really great concert. The opening was funny and conventional. The setlist was also fine. Maybe not the super best, but still lots of nice songs. And the atmosphere was also great. Especially since I heard that, for example, the AKB concert, the encore calls were pretty messed up, which worked really fine for this time. Yeah. I went actually with Masana Ochi, and we went to get some drinks with some Miko Ochis after that. Because apparently the 31st of March is like the super anniversary day. It was 3rd year of Miyako's graduation, 2 years of Sai's graduation, 1 year of Rion's graduation, and 0 years for Naru's graduation. So we had like gathering. It was really nice.
When Suchan went to the concert, you could see her like on Twitter. I saw pics.
Yeah.
You could see her in the public.
Yeah.
With a Yucatan stick, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lumi went too, right? Yeah, exactly. Of course, I didn't see any of them, but also what I heard from the other fans, I didn't notice though that especially Judina and so on, were most of the time performing in front of the VIP seats. And there were tons of flowers in the lobby from all kinds of TV stations, for example. And I think Okubo, for example, went too. At least, maybe not to see the concert, but to greet the members. I saw a picture of that too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That's, I guess, all for the concert. And next in the evening, we had a broadcast.
So I broadcasted. It was the Zenkoku tour in Niigata. So it was the one when they announced the SSE concert. So very nice concert. I really like the Zenkoku tour perf because like the arena is usually like small, but like enough you really hear the calls.
Mm.
So when you have to they had an MC where there were a quiz, and like Kano-chan in this is like so good. Like she was like doing bokeh the whole time. So and she actually won because at the end they asked the public who won, and so Kano-chan won, and she got nothing right. And song-wise, so it's one of my favorites. Shozo ga Konoboku wo Dame ni Suru. So it was Ketsu song. Don't even remember the single. It was the one where we're all wearing black. It's like a slow-mo PV. So I think it's probably the first time I've seen this song performed by Ketsu. So yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
And like we could see, it was like popular members minus Juna wasn't there, and you've got for the 8th gen Miyomaru and don't remember, but I remember. Yeah, that's it.
And thanks to, I think, wasn't that the show where Yuasa failed and accidentally put Naruki and so on there, like on Twitter. He posted some picture of them and said they were there too. I think it was a topic back then.
So yeah, good concert.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I won't. I will go and do this maybe later today. Yeah, next on April 1st, which kind of sounded like an April Fool's joke, but Nachi announced the creation of the blog, and we all were just, isn't now a fool or is it not? But the official page pretty soon released the creation schedule, so no fake, just the timing. And he did it on a blog for the same reason Sanan did it, because April is just crowded with Satan size. And there's no timing.
Well, yeah, this week, it's Ego-chan and Yusuke Seitensai.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a Ketsu like perf next week, so she could have done it then. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to like keep a special time between us, or if next week will be. I don't know if there's a Seitensai not yet announced. I don't check out the birthday so much. But anyway. So many of the members were apparently, of course, didn't know it about this and were really sad about it. I know about Wanshin and II, who just sent also some sad moments. Especially II was close to her.
Yeah, that's when I said, okay, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
Don Chan tweeted about it, so okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though she might be not so popular among fans, she's apparently really popular among the members.
There may be more sad members than sad fans.
Yeah.
On the 2nd, the draft 3 members got their blogs finally. So it's just one blog, and each of them is writing one day. So yesterday we had Otani Yuki from Team S write, and today it was Kozuma Honoka from Team S. So tomorrow is Team K2. And then
same thing. I think last week we said they were getting their showroom account back, but it's pretty weird because they just used it like one day and then nothing. So and it's pretty much the same thing with AKB and stuff, except from STU. Like you can see them like tweeting, broadcasting one day and then nothing for a week. So it's pretty weird, and nothing from management saying they officially got their account back, so it's weird.
Yeah. And along with this, we got new profile pictures from the official site, actually for all 48 groups, I think, at least for HKT, for NMB and so on.
Yeah, AKB too.
Yeah. And of course, with this, also new pictures in theater. And I like them. They look really good. They have new costumes. Actually, I also forgot to mention about the concert. For the opening songs, I'm pretty sure they had new costumes, which kind of looked similar to the Musubi no Ichiban, Mushiki no Iro costumes. And they look great. Yep. With that, that's all of news we have for this week.
Wait, I just want to add news. I just read this now because I wanted to make sure. I didn't write it down, but this is kind of news, kind of grad news. But Ko-chan changed her. She changed her catchphrase. So last week we mentioned that Sakipan changed her pen lights for Ishida Anna, right? She had an update and she wanted to change to Anna's colors, but she didn't, and she waited all that time. So now Ko-chan did something similar. So now Ko-chan included the E des yo into her catchphrase. So she took that from Ishida Anna.
Yeah, she was Ko-chan was very close to Anya from the start.
Yeah.
Like just so a few months after joining, like Anya was already like taking her to to her place to teach her how to make chocolate for Valentine, or taking her to have a coffee or do shopping outside. And even until a few months ago, when they changed the website on Nanagogo, but Kochan still had a picture of her and Anya, so even like, I don't know, more than 6 months after her grad, as her banner, basically.
Yeah, like I mentioned, maybe on the show, when you go to K2, for the double encore, they still do that Ides for the double encore, even though Anna's been gone now for some time now.
I'm pretty sure Archan also still has a picture of her and Sai as a header in Nanagogo, for example.
Yeah.
So with that we finish the news and we move to the theater. We just had one stage actually because they were busy with practicing for the Saitama concert. But yeah, the stage we had was the Me stage on the 27th, which was Naru-chan's creation stage. Actually, Nick and I went to the lobby to watch it. And I don't know, Nick, do you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. So Chris and I went, to watch on the monitor. And I was surprised. I actually didn't know this, but do Seitan start earlier too? But
sometimes
I don't know that.
Not always.
Yeah, but grad stages they start 30 minutes earlier. So instead of 6:30, it starts at 6, because they always end up taking more time. So they put it 30 minutes before. The reason is probably to let people go out, and make their Shinkansen back to Tokyo quicker, but I'm never sure that really works. As Willie knows. Basically, it was a standard TME stage for the first part. Like most grad stages, the first part's always the same. And then after the encore and after the last songs, they were doing some, they brought out other members from other teams that, Naru-chan's friends and all that. So we had Yuki-chan, we had Oshihin. I remember last week we mentioned, but that Naru-chan had a little special thing the day before. That they streamed on Showroom with Yuki-chan and Oshihin. Yeah. So they performed a song. I actually forget what song they did, but they had a song together.
Yeah, I'm also.
I didn't know the song.
Yeah. I don't think I knew it either. Maybe it was AKB, but then there was Nao-chan and Ego-chan, right?
Yeah.
Who came out from K2, because they're all 5th gen, like Naru-chan. So they had what was their song again? I forgot.
Wasn't it Aozora? No, Mega Itai Gurai Aozora?
Well, look, anyway, I totally forgot.
It was a generation song, and I'm pretty sure I thought, oh no, this song I always tear up in this song usually.
Okay. And then for the next song, this one I know the song was Glory Days, okay?
Yeah.
And that was with Makiko and
Don-chan.
Don-chan? Yeah, Don-chan, right, exactly. So, and that song was just the best that they did, for that night. And Makiko started off, because she has her jacket when she centers that, and she gave that to Naru-chan for the last song. So Naru-chan got to wear the jacket and the hat, and they switched. So at the beginning, Makiko comes out in the center position, and they changed to give Naru-chan the center position at the end. And everyone was just, we were in the lobby, but you could hear it though. Everyone was surprised on inside the stage too, and everyone watching at the lobby too. Everyone was like, whoa, we hadn't heard Glory Days in such a long time.
Yeah.
And then they were doing the unit for Tewotsune Gala, but it was the same members, so it was. For me, it was so good to see that years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always like Glory Days, and Naru-chan especially in Glory Days, because she always does. She's pretty acrobatic, and she always does the backflips or the cartwheels, whatever you call them. So it was nice to see that for one last time. And we had 3 letters this time. So first one was Nao-chan. It was kind of short. Ego-chan's letter was very long. And then Makiko also had a letter after at the end, which was a funny kind of letter, I'm the leader, and you know, you've been here for 5.5 years, you know, 5.5 years, and you've been causing me all this pain, but you're such a good person, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've been a brat sometimes, and anyway, like the kind of standard letter you'd expect from Makiko, the leader. And yeah, I just thought it was a really, really good stage. I hadn't, like, that was probably the best stage I'd seen in a very long time. Like, it was pretty emotional, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was like very like full of energy during the like for the like the E theater, like not really any tears or anything. It was very like very funny, very energetic, and yeah, like the encore, it was yeah, very emotional.
Yep.
And it was cool. Like we could see like the sixth gen. I think they were the most affected by it because and they all said like when they entered the group, like she's the one who like went to them first. So like to Kuma-chan, Naki, Yusuke, they all said it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was really
all the time
a good
performing in the
senpai
King
performance.
stages too. No?
Yeah.
Even for the 7th generation with them together, so of course, yeah. Yeah. If there's nothing to add here, we finish the theater roundup and move to the media roundup with the usual Musabino Ichiban first.
Yeah, so very good episode. It was kind of the anniversary. It was the 48th episode. So they did Hansekai. So like they went back. So it was, I think like 15 members. And it was pretty much okay. What you did bad, of course, because it's Yoshimura. So everyone did bad except Don-chan, of course, because it's his favorite. So Don-chan did the MC with him, so it was very cool. What we have to see, like they all ganged up on Skawara. So yeah, it was very funny.
I haven't watched it yet.
Like yeah, with a lot of screen time for Maya. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw screen caps.
So yeah, like on Sally too, like Yoshimura said, because they gave him a photo book in one episode.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, so what was with your photo book, your comedy photo book? It was okay, no, it was it was not a comedy photo book. And Don-chan too, like she attacked her a lot too, and Lena Yu too, because during an episode, she went to the toilet, like during the the shoot.
Yeah, she was just starting to laugh and said, I need to go to the toilet, son. Which in the end, again, backfired to Skawara.
Yeah, she turned it, yeah.
So,
Skawara.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very good, just for that. So we had Yuki-chan and Dasu challenge, so I think it was the end.
Yeah.
I think.
It's the last episode.
So they had the card game, so they had to find pairs. And Yuki-chan won. So yeah, she won the challenge. And at the end, appeal time by Hatagon.
Yeah, also they learned a special like dance, the what's it called, Shachoko dance, where they just lean forward and put their legs in the air. So they performed like they tried to create a rice ball or onigiri with this, I think, and it was funny to see all the members trying to do this and just fail. In the end, everyone managed to do this except Maya, who just turned on her back and put her legs in the air this way.
Yeah, it was pretty like Makiko had a bad fall and some others, so yeah, it was pretty.
Chikako just rolled over in the front.
Yeah,
which kind of looked a bit dangerous, but
yeah.
As expected, Machi did really great. He's just sporty. And yeah. Next, we had the SKE 48 Gakuen.
Yeah, so it's been a very long time since I last watched an SK Gakuen. I think we mentioned, well, at least for me, they're only an hour long, but they feel like 4 hours sometimes.
Yeah,
they're just yeah. Like even the biggest SK fans, everyone says like, yeah, that show can be boring and slow. This time though, it was actually very good. So this was Naru-chan's graduation special that they did. So Naru-chan appeared 10 times on that show on SK Gakuen. And I actually remember, I've watched the show quite a lot, and I think Naru-chan's been on that for a lot of the episodes I saw, but I was surprised it was only 10 episodes. Still, this show's only once a month. So that means she appeared 10. So that means she appeared 10 times out of 5 years. So in a 5-year span, that was 10 months that she appeared. So that's tied with Makiko, by the way.
Yeah.
And the leaders in terms of appearances on that show are Suda and Mikoti, by the way, and they have 12 each. So still, that's quite a lot of appearances on the show. So they they had a little special send off for her since she's been there a lot. And the theme of the show was an attraction park, so they were just at a theme park, and it was a pretty rundown theme park, to be honest. It was really not that great, and there was no one there. They were in the middle of the day. Probably on a weekday, and there was no one. They started off on this merry-go-round, and Honono was on one of the little horses, and it was not going up and down; it was just staying there.
Yeah, I still need to watch just because of Honono.
Yeah, and then they went on this water ride. Like the kind that go up and down, and it's supposed to splash with water as you come down. So they went on one of those rides, and there was no water. Like, there was no water and there's no splash. So they were all like, "Where's the water?" Like, Maya had her jacket up on her to try and shield her from the water because they all thought, "Oh, we're gonna get so wet," and there wasn't any water at all. So they were all kind of disappointed. And during this, Naru-chan was on a separate raft or whatever. So she was alone, and the rest were all together.
Yeah.
On the rides. So the others all got out before, and they all got water guns. And Naru-chan was like, "Where's the water?" When she came down, and they all just started spraying her through with their water guns. So she got wet, and then there was she went on a Ferris wheel with Maya for 12 minutes. We didn't, it didn't last 12 minutes in the show, but they were there for 12 minutes, and they were talking about Naru-chan wanted to make Maya cry. So they were just talking about very serious things about my time in SKE, and Maya's like, "Oh yeah, I'll miss you," but Maya didn't cry at all, and it didn't work. But no, it was honestly, if you have to watch one part in the show, watch that part where they talk to each other. If you understand Japanese, because it was actually really cool, like the stuff they were talking about, and it was pretty hard talks actually. Yeah. It was actually really good. It surprised me because I thought, it's just these two clowns and.
Yeah.
They're just going to tease each other, and they did, but they had a serious talk, which was nice. Then there was one last ride kind of attraction that Naru-chan went in alone, and it was like some place that's supposed to make you go, it's supposed to make you dizzy and fall down. And at the end of that, she met this guy from that show called Wanpak-san.
Okay.
And I don't know if that rings a bell with any of you, but he was, I think he was on 2 or 3 Gakuen episodes, and I actually saw them all, so I remember that guy. But he was a staff, I think he was a cameraman or a staff for that show, and he always said that Naru-chan was his favorite, and they called him Wanpak-chan just because he just liked the kind of girl like that Naru is, who's kind of bratty, and I guess naughty or whatever. So that's why they called him Wanpak-san. And at the beginning of the episode, they were like, "Oh, he's not here, and he couldn't make your last episode." And obviously at the end, he was there.
Yeah.
And he told Naru-chan, "I was like, hey, I got you a gift. I got you some cucumber, because she's like a kappa." And he opens the box, and it's not a cucumber. It's like this giant insect. and she had to eat this giant insect.
Oh.
And she just could not do it. She was just spitting it out, and she ate a little bit of it at the end. But anyway, it's like a huge beetle.
Wow. Okay.
And it was really disgusting. Yeah. And all the members were going crazy. And
I can imagine.
And so that was it. And they were all laughing at Wanpak-san because his character is kind of like he's a gross guy, and his zipper was open the whole time, and Don-chan was just laughing at him the whole time. And Yuki-chan too was like, "Oh, you look so bad, like your shirt sucks." And anyway, so yeah, it was a good episode. It was a good episode.
Yeah. Next, we had the Ninja 9 videos from last week. They were all pretty funny. It was from 19th to 23. I guess, my favorite, of course, was the Wan-chan vs. Aina. The episodes with Wan-chan are always really funny because she's just not harassing the younger members, but she's really clingy, and Aina just quietly endured it. in a way. And since the broadcast of this episode was on Wanchan's birthday, in the 19th, they of course had a cake, but really to the end, and apparently Oshirin's, thanks to Oshirin's fail, when the member opened the outer door of the studio, it was already really loud, so of course they noticed already, and then they still tried to sneak into by crawling through the room before. So they all had lots of fun in this to the end. And before it was just like what I I don't remember the other episodes so much, but like for example the pairing between Luca and Yokona sounds just fun. Also Julina and Ruchan was nice to watch because Julina was going all over how cute Ruchan is and all this stuff. Like
and Julina hasn't been in the show like forever. I think I don't even remember the last time she was
on. So again, these is on YouTube. You can just watch them with normal stuff.
And no free Janayo this week. It's weird.
Yeah,
maybe because of the SSA.
Yeah, I assume they. Of course, they would have made it back in time to Nagoya, but I assume they would be too exhausted after the full concert to do really Sunshine. And also, since all members were involved, of course, there was none who was like rested enough maybe to do a Sunshine. With that, we are also done with the news and TV roundup, so we can go to the discussion. And this week we finally start introducing the Team E members on stage. Yeah, Team E, the current Team E is same as the others, started off in the after the shuffle in 2014. I'm not entirely sure how many have stayed now, but what I noticed recently is that the team is already smaller than Team S, which really surprised me because I thought Team S was always the smallest. But with Nado's gradation, they are now down to 14 members. And I guess we just start introducing.
Yeah, so I'm not going to. I don't know if someone know original Team E, because I'm just like I just went with arrived with the draft. So yeah, I just know like the last Team E, the current Team E. I kind of knew a bit of the Lena's and Loli Team E. It was just for a year, I think, because it was the one with the teams just. Yeah, it was just for a year. So
I don't know, like for just like the really old one. So basically the fourth generation member. It's like really different from the current image because it's it really looks like a bunch of nice girls, you know. Not any of them's gonna make a wave. Like all not necessarily quiet girls. Like Umemoto Madoka is not quiet, but yeah, compared to the bunch of, compared to what you have now, it's super different. But it's still the image I have of the team, like the bee costume on Mitsubachi Girl. Yeah. Because at the time Nao was in team E for a year, and then another year with Rena. So that's the time when I watched the most of the team, and yeah, compared to like Team K2 or Team S, who have kept the same image the whole time, I think he had the biggest change by far.
Yeah.
Because and like in Matsuerena's Team E was like pretty much all the young girls and Matsuerena.
Yeah.
If I remember, like I've seen like a couple of perfs from that time, but yeah, remember it was like Leon maybe, and because I remember Mia Marian. So I'm like mainly the current one. So
I
after
used to watch. Go ahead.
If you want to talk about the old TV, go ahead.
I used to watch, actually before K2, I used to watch Team E. This was about 3 years ago, I guess. Well, I mean, I don't have anything much to say, but I thought that team was a lot of fun. Like, the stage was okay. You know, I got to like the K2 stage more.
Yeah. Well, we talk about the stage later.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that you know, that older team was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was the easiest team to get into at that time because they had Tani, who had just been making a lot of success in the TV shows, Rena and Suda and Aya-chan. So they had like back then, like I would say 3 years ago, they were pretty strong.
Mm.
Yeah, and check-wise, so yeah, they had like pretty much all the strongest handshake sellers.
Yeah. Okay, then let's.
So
maybe
the
come
current
back.
one, so the crazy one, we'll say. So yeah, the current team is for me. So it's my favorite team. I just say that from the beginning.
Yeah. Then.
So yeah.
Let's start with the members. I guess. First off would be Aikawa Honoka, or Honono. She's 14 from Aichi, from the 7th generation, and her pen light is orange and a light or aqua blue. I guess she's most famous for her Mikan character, because she just keeps talking about Mikans whenever she does talk to anything.
Yeah, and now it's like the running joke. So like. She does it on purpose. So every time you say, okay, yeah, because I like Mikan, and like the public, of course, is like, eh.
Yeah, and because the members say, I never see you eating Mikans and so on, so it's just business Mikan. And it's always
and
really fun.
she herself, she say, okay, yeah, I'm a Mikan Kara. So okay, yeah, if it's your Kara, so it's not real.
Yeah, and the current profile even says her hobbies is watching Mikan.
Watching Mikan, yeah, on the new profile, yeah, I saw that too.
Is it? Are you sure it's a joke? Because she.
When it
she seems half retarded to me, so that's why it's a bit hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, it started off as probably being honest, but recently it's become more of a joke. Of course, I guess she still likes Mikans, but it's not like it's all about this.
She doesn't even want to eat them anymore. She wrote on the new profile that she just wants to look at them.
Yeah, but then again, she said during Izumin's Satan Sai she eats Mikans twice a week. So we don't know for sure. Anyway, she's also known to be very, very shy. Like, whenever she's talked to, she usually just says, "Otsukare-sama." And
yeah, it's very funny because like from the beginning, she's like type of the loli type, but she doesn't like being doted on, so you'll never see like members try to pet her or anything like that. Like she doesn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she's very shy. But for a year, I think just when she spent time with the KenQC, I think it really helped her. Like she talks a lot too, and in MC right now she's very funny.
Yeah, and you can see when she's with the KenQC, especially with Yukatan and Ayuka, for example, when they are together, she's just a completely different person. She's energetic and goofing around, and when she starts laughing, it's really, really a nice laughter. It's always fun to watch.
And the fact that she spent, so she was one of the last to be promoted in Team E. So she was with Narupi and Aina. She was the one, so they stepped back with F-Gen to help them, and I think it was very beneficial for her. Her MC, she really got way better, and she had to with the F-Gen.
Yeah, even like people said, it was the Honono KenQC team, because she, also according to the current age in KenQC, she was like really the leader of the KenQC group, which you usually wouldn't really expect, I guess.
So I think, it really helped her confidence, and right now in Team E, it's funny because at the time it's really I didn't like her like at the beginning of 7th gen, and now she's one of my favorites in Team E.
Yeah.
Like right now, so in MC, she can be brutally honest. So she's going to if Makiko say, okay, like do you not like me, or do you not like me? Oh yeah, I hate her. I hate you. Like she has no problem with that.
Yeah, and well, for me, she is still my favorite right after Ai and Wanchan. So number 3. So yeah. Next we have the next of the Kenkyusei, this 3 Kenkyusei group, which is Asai Yuka, or Yukatan. She's also 14 from IG. She's 7th generation. Her penlight color is blue. Yeah, and I guess you maybe have heard of her because she's a cousin of Kisaki Udia.
Yeah, and she's she changed at first. She could seem like a weird fit in Team E because she's kind of not a princess type like Ochan, but like a proper idol, I'd say. But when you get to know her, yeah, she's very weird. So like and her head too. So at first.
She's a fan of Suda. That's weird already.
Yeah, and at first it was like very earthing. Like she's a big fan of Akanin, so Akanin had a lot of fun playing with her and seeing her being shy. And even like on concerts, like backstage, you could see like if Dasu is like being friendly with another Kohai, you could see Yukatan being like very okay, stop that.
Yeah, she's also very conscious about her ears, because maybe they stand off a bit. But like often on Ninja Knife, for example, when she is embarrassed or so, her ears get really red, and then she tries to hide it, which is pretty cool, pretty funny. So,
yeah, and like in Team E, they love to make fun of her, and it's very funny because she's shy. So you could see like her ears, they get like really red when she's self-conscious. So it's very good.
Yeah.
And what I think one of the things who got her more popular, I think, and got her some spotlight was Suchan.
Yeah.
So the whole Suchan being like really very adoring her. So yeah.
It was like the running gag for the last year.
Yeah.
Next we have Vida Reona. She's 19 from Mie. She's from the 6th generation, and her penlight colors are aqua blue, yellow, and pink. I think she's a very like friendly person. I met her once on a handshake event, not at the handshake itself, but at the selling booth, and she was really easy to talk to. I know she was really close with Yumichi and still is, so of course I talked with her about this, but I think she's also relatively close with Donchan, I think. So
yeah,
I just know these 3 were always together before.
Yeah, it's funny because when I did the spreadsheet for the team, like I have nothing like for Leona. It's really funny because I really like her, and I go see her in Handshake, and in Handshake it's pretty much the same thing. Like I don't have anything to say to her, but I still go to see her because she's very cute. Like you can just go see her, like tell her a compliment, and she's going to be very very happy. So
yeah, she's like one from the 6th generation who just never had the breakthrough in some way.
Yeah, pretty much a theater girl, and I think she got first 1 year in a number of performance, and I think she talked about it in the graduation stage for Narumi 2.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Kamata Natsuki or Naki. She's 21 from IG, also from the 6th generation. Her penlight colors are white, purple, and white. And I don't really know much about her, so go ahead.
What I remember from her, it's pretty funny because at the time when I just went to Team E, she was at the time when she was the biggest, I'll say, and like in a Teiwatsu Ganagara uniform, it was very funny. Like it was pretty much the joke of the team. And Lumi, for example, loved to play with her stomach. And at the time, I was like, okay, that's weird. And like she was very, very, like she's still very loved. Like for example, I don't think she was very known, but she always got a good result in SKEncore and like in Passion for You and stuff like that. So yeah, she has a strong fan base. And recently, she's done a lot of gravure.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't
like,
she also
yeah,
appearing in the one of the Junkin tech guys in a bikini? I'm not sure it was really her, but might have been. I'm not sure. Wouldn't surprise me though.
But yeah, it's pretty funny because like same thing like on her Twitter, like she's like posting a lot of gravure shot too, so the members like to say that about her, like she has no shame. And so yeah, so she got in the last Tenbatsu, so it was a very like a long
long wait.
Yeah, long wait. I think pretty much everyone was happy for her, and they it was a big deal. I think like they did a lot of things about her being in Senbatsu for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was pretty well deserved, I thought.
Of course.
She'd been waiting so long, and the results had been there.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty like think about all the fans who had been spending all their money on getting her in Senbatsu and ranking in Solo Sankyo and all the other games like P4U and all that. Like you're putting in the money and the management just doesn't care. So it's that's the worst. That's what you don't want as a fan. Where you try so hard as a group, you're doing everything you really should be, and you're not getting recognized, and neither is the girl. So really, the best thing to come out of Mushiki really was that, right? In my opinion. So yeah, the other thing about Naki is that she's very close with Kuma-chan, so they always stick together. I think they might be the closest pair in the whole group that we have right now, or the most high-profile pair. Maybe Yunanan and Nala, maybe.
Yeah.
But like in terms of members who always do stuff together and who always post stuff about each other and whose fan bases seem to like, the members. I don't want to go as far and say it reminds me of Chiri and Iron, but it kind of does actually. In the sense that they're both in Senbatsu and they're both kind of supporting each other and they're always, always kind of there for each other. It's pretty nice.
Okay. Next we have Kumasaki Haruka, Kuma-chan. She is 20 from Aichi, also from 6th generation, and her palette is red and purple. I guess we know her all for her problems pronouncing words.
Yeah.
That's her charm point.
Yeah, it's really, really funny to watch. Makes up for a lot of laughter during stages.
Yeah, she wants to be an announcer.
Yeah.
So, obviously that's always going to be the joke, right? Oh, but you can't even pronounce your... So, like, do you remember they did that? They did this segment.
On a New Year's
I forget. I think it was at the end of the year.
Yeah, the New Year.
Yeah. Where, like, they made her pronounce, like as if she's a reporter. Yeah. And everyone was laughing. Like, Yuzuki was crying and she was dying. And it was really funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, because she was just messing up everything.
She once mentioned the older she gets, the worse it becomes.
Yeah. Anyone else want to talk before I do?
Yeah, she's my favorite performer in Team E. And I think she's probably top 3 in the whole group, like after Nao and Julina.
And
like
she's she's the under for Lala when she's not there for and yeah, like the perf where she's center, like you can totally see her like as a center. Like with more popularity, she could like maybe be a center for a single, but yeah, like for the last Sosenkyu and stuff, she didn't do very well. So yeah.
Well, as if that really matters all the time. But I agree with Willie here that she's my favorite performer in Team E. I've been to stages and Kuma-chan is always the one that you notice the most. Just like in K2, you notice Nao-chan. And it's something you don't really expect from Kuma-chan because you're like, oh, like she doesn't really strike you as like Nao-chan. You look like, I don't know, like the impression I get from Nao-chan is like, she's serious and she's gonna put on a good show. just from her aura, I guess. Maybe that's just me. But Kuma-chan, that's not really what I was expecting from her. But wow, she really performs well. She did Oteage in place of Makiko when Makiko wasn't there for a couple performances. So that's a solo song they do. And wow, Kuma-chan did a really good job with that, I thought. Or I preferred her to Makiko, to be honest. Even though Makiko probably Makiko's a better dancer, but Kuma-chan's a better performer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, she's.
It was nice to see her on that song because usually you see her doing well on very energetic songs, and like she's one of the most energetic girls. There are some who maybe are more than her, but they kind of they look messy, while Kuma, she looks energetic and clean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think since I've been living here and going to the SK event, she's been the member. Well, okay, maybe apart, Maya, probably the most, but Kuma-chan, probably the second. She's really, really impressed me since I've come here. She's probably the second most member who's impressed me and who's really like, I've always liked her before that, but really now I'm like, wow, she's just really good at pretty much everything she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an hilarious selfie with her. Like, I look like 4 times like her. It's pretty good.
Okay. Next we have Goto Rara, or Rara. She is 17 from IG, 7th generation, even though I tend to forget this. And her planet is yellow, light blue, and white. And yeah, she's the English pro in SK, I'd say.
Yeah,
well,
so she's clearly my favorite in 7th gen. Like from the the first time they shown her, they show them. I liked Yunana like from the start, but first performance, it was like Lala 100%. At first she was really, I think, the best performer.
Kiss Dameyo? Was it?
Maybe, yeah. Might have been, yeah.
It was she was doing Kiswa Dameyo?
Yeah, she was the center with Ayai, and I think it changed.
Yeah.
Atagon did it after that.
I think so too, yeah.
But yeah, so she's actually the center for Team E. And she's very good. I think it's pretty weird because I think I liked her performance better, like at the beginning. It's kind of different now. Don't really know what changed. I think she's having more fun now, but she kind of lost her coolness, I think.
Okay.
The coolness that made you Oshihen to her back then, and now you Oshihen again because she lost it, right?
At the time, it was not close to Oshihen, but yeah, I think I had more gif of her than John Chan, so it was dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think it's the SK member I've seen the most in Handshake. I think. Because I remember like an event when I went to her like 30 times or something like that.
I think, yeah, I will go to her on 29th. I'm already looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I always go see her first in the morning because like you arrive, you're nervous, you haven't been to a handshake in a while. If you can arrive and talk in English to the first member, that releases some of the pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so yeah, it's of course the only member I use English with, and she's when you talk to her, like the image I have of her is like a little boy, like she's very like I really see her like a little boy, like you can talk to her, she's really genki.
She's really loud sometimes, like also TV shows.
Zero femininity.
Yeah, but. So yeah, when she cut her hair short and leg, it fits the image I have of her. So
I mean, I was
and she's very
so it's like the perfect continuation of this.
And she's very talkative. So yeah, you can. It's probably the easiest member you could see. in SKE because you can use English, and she's going to do the talking for you. Like you can each time I prepare a lot, and I can't even say like half of what I want to say.
Okay. She's too talkative. Once I spent 30 seconds in front of her and Ryoha. I was trying to talk in Japanese to include Ryoha, and Lala would cut me answer in English and just like monopolize the conversation in English. Ryoha was almost crying.
The chance to speak in English sometimes, not just Japanese.
Yeah, I went to, so I did Kubetsu and National with her, and yeah, National was very, very funny because it was Hatagon, her, and Sanan, and yeah, it was pretty good because she was reacting to everything I said to Hatagon. So yeah, she said I was a hentai at the time. It was pretty fun. The bad thing about her is she has a lot of mystery about her. There's a lot of things, like for example, like for a month or two, you're not going to see any blog at all or any SNS at all. So yeah, it's probably mainly about school, because so I'm pretty sure our mom is like, okay, like you have an exam, so no SNS for a month, for example, or things like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's like pretty sure it's the thing why management like kind of distance themselves from her, because you can see she's not like 100% in her idol life. She's like, she had pretty much works on her study and everything. So
yeah, that's
and
also
from
why
what
she's not running for SKEncore this year, right? Because she just
and
wants to
like her blog was pretty much it was like almost a graduation like blog post. When you read it, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, okay, I had a lot of fun in SKE performing and stuff, and you're like, okay, it's pretty weird. So, and it's funny because it's from the start. Like from the start, she didn't really talk about her future as an idol or anything. Like even from the start, like 1 year in, she was like, "Oh, when I'm going to graduate, or where I'm going to see to watch back on what I did." So it's from the start you could feel it.
Yeah, I would definitely not push her this year if I was management. Like once she enters university, if she's still there, you can push her again. But last year of high school with her is probably not.
Yeah, she'll be.
Like there are a lot of
really
similarities with like Yabushita Shu from NMB.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they don't talk really about their future as idols.
Yeah, I guess we have to wait until she's done with school to see how this continues.
Yeah, personally, I really like her as a kind of leader. That's kind of what I kind of want to see in her, or kind of what I like to see in her. But yeah, who knows if she's going to stick around for that, if she can be that leader. But I just think she has a lot of passion, and I think that's really evident.
Yeah,
when you look at her and everything she does, she's just she's really into it, into everything she does really. So that kind of energy and determination, I think, is really productive, and I kind of like to see that. But who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's really funny too. I remember like on showroom she did like skits with her brother.
Yeah,
which was really good.
Also, it might be noteworthy to mention
which was forbidden, by the way.
Yeah.
You
but
can
yeah,
show sisters, but not. Sorry?
It's maybe noteworthy to mention that she always does English sentences on her Instagram. We should mention this at least.
Oh yeah. She had gotten a series, so like pretty much every day.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I think it's now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like pretty much an expression of a word, and she's a good teacher. Like when she was doing it on showroom, I was listening to it. Yeah.
And you can use it the other way around too. Just learn Japanese.
Yeah.
One thing that shocked me last time I saw her in Handshake was that she had something written in French on her T-shirt, and she didn't even try to search what it was. I was like, "Come on, when you're talking English, like so you speak English. This word looks like it could be English, and you don't even search what it could be." So I don't know. I felt it was a bit weird. Like I was wondering, is she really into English, or is it just because of her parents and actually she doesn't really care?
Or maybe she noticed it's not English and then just yeah. Or for example, I also usually don't take too much attention on what is written on my T-shirts, unless it's like a big word across, which I of course immediately see also. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the captain, Saitama Makiko. Or Maki, she is 23 from Osaka. From the second generation, her penlight color is yellow, and yeah, she's the SK leader. Announced on the 2015 16 concert where Sai graduated.
Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, at the time, I think pretty much everyone was like, "Oh yeah, of course it's Makiko."
Yeah,
no big surprise.
Yeah, she's like the Takamina type, perfect leader.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it's funny because at the time, not very much now, like with FGN, but she has like a lot of Kohai who loves her. Like Naru-chan, I think it's the most famous one. Was always with her. So right now it's very funny because she wants to be liked by Honono. But yeah, Honono is not having any of that. She's afraid of Makiko. So like pretty much in every team E, you're going to see Makiko trying to be friendly with Honono or something, and
yeah,
no result.
No thanks. Even wrote a letter for Honono's Satan-sai. I was like, I hope it's fine that I wrote it. I hope you're not too angry.
And like it's pretty much with every leader, like everyone's making fun of her, like in MC and stuff.
Yeah, she always really reminds me of Takamina. Also, just like the failing stories or doing failing in the funny stories, and even for Otage Lullaby, which is of course original Takamina song, they even sound pretty similar in my opinion.
Yeah, and so it's not much now because I actually think she's funnier now than at the time. But yeah, it was in her catchphrase like okay, subinimas.
Yeah.
And like okay, yeah, you're from Osaka, you're supposed to be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now like in MC she's really good. And what I remember the most about her is how in Team E they make fun of her solo song. Actually, it's supposed to be like a super cool song, but I think Team E has like messed with that song so much I can't like listen to that song without like thinking about like Don-chan or Non making fun of it.
One thing I have to say about Makiko is. She's I just briefly went for a handshake in a Zenkoku and it was like 0.5 seconds. So anyway, nothing, but I was a bit intimidated by her. I don't know what it is about her, but she's like, she doesn't exude the kind of friendliness that other members will, but at the same time, like, you know that she's just a goofball and like she has a kind of serious cara, but at the same time.
That's what it takes to be the leader.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it was just a bit. I was just a bit like intimidated. Well, not intimidated. I was a bit shy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
When I was in front of her, I was like, oh, and she was waiting for me to talk, and I was like, oh, hey, and I got moved. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, she's like, first look for like your first impression, you might think, oh, she's really serious, and she is. But yeah, as Jeff said, she.
But in Handshake, I think it's funny because like they did a comic at one time, like it was years ago, about members in Handshake. And like about Makiko, it was actually she's pretty feminine in Handshake, and yeah, I've seen her just one or twice in Handshake, and yeah, she's contrary in like her character. She's very feminine in Handshake.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's move to the next member, Sato Kao. Nickname is also Sato Kao. She's 20 from Aichi, from the H iteration, her palette colors are aqua blue and yellow, then I'm pretty sure Jeff wants to talk about it.
What makes you say
about
that?
his experience.
Will's got the same one. So yeah, so Satokaro, like from the start, FGen first perf, same thing like as Alala. Not really much, like in showroom. I don't think I've seen her showroom like during the audition, but yeah, first perf. You could see she was like pretty much the only one doing appeal like to the public and stuff like that. Not really like the best performer, but you could see she wasn't anxious or anything. So she really stood out. And yeah, I think she's sexiest girl in the 48. She's my kryptonite. She's yeah. And yeah, it's very funny because it's one of the oldest girls. So yeah, she joined. She was 19, I think. So she's in college, and pretty much is the thing with, I've said it before, with girls who enter the group, like when they're older, they're really professional. So when you enter a group like at after high school, you're pretty much set on like either doing a career of it, or really for her it was pretty much okay. When I was in school, I was focusing in school, but she was like a kind of our club. They were doing idol dance, so she was already interested in that. I think it's why she was like not very anxious at first. So she kind of had like experience.
She's a really good fisher in this way.
She's like pretty much she's the best seller with Yukina and Miku. And yeah, I mean if you go to a handshake, you're going to understand why. Yeah, I think like
let's say it now.
you can't. I mean, the first time I went to see her, so I was with Willie actually, and he said, oh, "Okay, I don't know if you want it to be spoiled, but she's in a police officer uniform." Okay. Like she sets the bar like from the beginning, and yeah, like in handshake, she's like very often in costumes and stuff like that. And yeah, like pretty much it's funny because I don't really go to see like fishers aside from her and Yukina too. But yeah, like me, pretty much she takes your hand, she really pulls you close to her. And yeah,
she's leaning forward super far.
Yeah,
when she's in police officer, it's fine, but
contrary to Yuki-chan, yeah, I think she actually wants you to watch, but not a high.
Not the eyes, yeah.
The second test, she had a really loose dress, and yeah, she was leaning so much you could see everything inside.
Yeah, I mean,
it was super hard to look at her eyes.
Yeah, it's really
small.
It's really small because he went first, and he went to when I was going to see her. He said, "Okay, like you can totally see her bra." So I mean, why do you say that to me just before I'm going to see her? I tried my best. Like not to look, but yeah, you can win a fight.
By accident, you don't want what you have. Well, you want and you have to, but
yeah. So yeah, so in Timmy right now, I think she was pretty shy at first. Now she's like slowly being more friendly with everyone, and she's got a character, so it's pretty easy for the other members to play with that. So Lalas, for example, likes to see like she's the one who wants to get nude very fast. And like pretty much like everyone in the team, and like it's funny because our Doki in FGen, like Ami for example, is on Twitter when Kaho's tweeting something sexy, every time you can see like Ami answering like, oh, it seems like you're cold or something like that. So it's very funny.
tweeting something sexy. It's been every day recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
her little Instagram filters or whatever.
She's teasing
Little emojis.
shots from her review.
yeah, she's very active on showroom. I think it pretty much every night she does one on Twitter and Instagram. Like she does a lot of videos with members or alone. So yeah, she's pretty much very active on SNS and stuff, and you can see why she's like popular in Ncheck too. So yeah, I think we're going to see her in Senbatsu pretty soon. I think next Senbatsu will surprise me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Let's move to the next one, which is Sue Nagaoka, or Ochan. She's 16 from IT, 7th generation, and her palette color is dark pink, pink, and dark pink. And yeah, she's the original long hair character before Yukon came in.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's funny because she's totally a weird fit in the team. So I mean, pretty much everyone the weirdo, and she's a princess type. And at first, I think now they are beginning to joke with her. But at first, she was like the Senpai whisperer. Like she's very good with praising members and Senpai in particular. So like pretty much everyone loves her. And it's funny because like she was a Tanioshi at first. Now it's kind of we'll say not very sure. But yeah, so we've got a lot of relationship with Tani, and like the difference of Kara is very fun.
Yes.
And now it's kind of like it was with Sanan at the end. Like, okay, yeah, she's praising the members, but like on purpose, and she doesn't really think it. So it's really funny.
Yeah. Okay. Then now it's Nick's great hour. We come to Sugawara Maya, or Maya. She's 18 from Sendai, draft 2nd generation. Her palette colors are green and white. And yeah, Nick, just go ahead.
Okay, I actually don't have that much to say about her because I only Oshi-hand last year, at the end of last year. So I don't have like years of knowledge like I did with Cherry, but yeah. So she's draft 2, and she was kind of, she something she always says is that she tries, she's really set on being an idol, and she says if you have any doubts about being an idol, if you went to that draft thinking that you weren't sure about being an idol, you already lost.
Yeah.
And that if you're gonna try and be an idol, you have to be absolutely 100% sure that you're gonna be an idol. So I don't know too much about her at the beginning, to be honest. I followed her a bit.
At the beginning, it was very funny because she was like, she's not like how she's now, like very outgoing or anything. She was a bit shy and a bit like awkward. It was very funny because at first, like the first perf, she had a duo with Kamimu, and like the duo was like so good. Like just the 8th difference was very good, and like Kamimu was very like active, and like so every time Kamimu was like trying to do a skit with Maya, and Maya like was not really wanted to do it. So yeah, it was the duo was very good.
Yeah, actually, I remember when she debuted with the other D2 members, and I actually wasn't too caught on by her at that time because I was, because like you said, she was a bit shy, and I don't know, I take my time to learn the members. I don't really jump into them when they come out, so I'm just like, okay, like none of them D2 really struck to me at first, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, so. What can I say about her? Well, I mean, everyone calls her the visual, right, of SKE. I don't know if it's right to say that she's like the most visually, attractive or whatever you want to call the most beautiful. Okay, why do you say that?
I don't think there are more beautiful members.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'll write that down. You're in my black book. No, I mean, Like I would say Yumana for me is more beautiful. Anyway, so but you know she has that image. But you know it's kind of it's actually kind of similar to Yumana in a way where they're both kind of pretty, but they're both really kind of funny and socially like goofballs and kind of awkward at times. So. But like Jeff said, she's really good interacting with the other members. Sometimes I feel like she's a bit too good, and I wonder how she can get away with some of the stuff she says. Like I feel that way about a lot of Team though. Like one of the running jokes, I don't know if it's really a joke. It kind of worries me, but she always calls Naki fat, and she always rubs her stomach, which is just really funny to me. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I hope Naki like is okay with that. Anyway.
But I think that's why, like from when they promoted Lala and her, like pretty much like in every team you could see like the members it took pretty much changing stages for members to integrate the group. But like Maya from the start, she's so good at socializing, so she becomes friend very fast. And one of the things at first it was very good. I don't think she does it now, but at the times, like pretty much you could see on her blog, like pretty much every 2 days she was spending the night. I'm spending the night with Yusuke. Or now I'm spending the night with so and so. So like pretty much she was okay. She has no home, so she's pretty much going to every members.
Yeah. She still does that recently, or did recently. Like she was at, well, I mean, they were at. She slept with Yuzuki recently. That sounds weird. She was with Yuzuki in the same hotel room when they were doing an event. That doesn't really count. But she was with. She's been at Sana's house. I mean, they both live in the same apartment complex. So sometimes like sleeping over is like kind of easy for them. They can just they're in the same building. So but I remember a few months back before Sana graduated, they would always be together. She's very popular for her hengao faces, like her funny faces.
Yeah, when I saw her last year, it was they were eating food and like weird faces about the food. Very funny to us.
Yeah, she's so popular. I mean, going to events now, she's so popular among other SK fans. Like in her lane, I know so many people that I know who are fans of other members, and I just see them in her lane. I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, I'm just here, because I like Maya. And every handshake, there'll be tons of people I know just in her lane, and they're like, oh, I just kind of like her and I want to see her. So she has a lot of those kind of people come to her handshakes. Just people wanted to try out and see, and they kind of stick after, and they just kind of stay. Because her handshakes are really the best that I've been to. I haven't been to many handshakes, and I'm really biased too. But she has a really good memory. Like her memory is really, really good. She'll remember stuff. Like we were talking, and she remembered stuff like months ago. She was like, "Oh yeah, you were there," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was." And like even I'd forgotten, and she just remembers stuff. Like she'll be like, "Oh yeah," and like in the theater last month, you came twice in a row. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did." Okay. So like she really remembers you, and sometimes like once I thought she didn't look at me in an event, and she talked to me about it the other time. Like, oh yeah, you came to that event, and so she's like, it's kind of different from Chiri because people say, oh, Chiri's really bad at remembering you, but maybe it's because I'm white also. But Maya's really good at remembering people, and even the other fans say that. They're like, yeah, she's really good at making conversation. So really like, good handshake.
In handshake, the first time I've seen her, like the first ones, she was a bit shy, and like the day after, she was like, "Oh, I've seen you yesterday night, like in Shibuya." Oh yeah, I was eating with friends, and from that time, pretty much, it's kind of with Lala. It's pretty much like very talkative, and she's very active, and Now it's very easy to talk to her.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever I go to handshake, I try, like, I think I'll make her laugh, like, I always think of, like, oh, this is going to be a funny conversation, but, like, it's really weird, but she turns out, like, lovey-dovey or something, and she, like, tries, not to fish me, but, like, the conversation always turns kind of serious, and I'm always like, oh, this is weird, like, this isn't what I was imagining coming in, but it's always good, and I mean, the moment that started my Oshi-hen, kind of, was when I first went to the TV stage, my first one, and I had one green pen light that I had because I only had one pen light. Like, oh, I'll put it green because that's Team E's color, and I was like, oh, but that's Maya's color too, so it's gonna count as a double. And I was put in the very back row, so I lost the or I won, however you want to look at it. The bingo when you enter the theater, and I was at the very last row, and I'm short, and everyone around me was really, really tall. So I was like, okay, there's no way the members can even see me, but whatever, I'll just wait in my pen light. And afterwards, on the way out, you get to talk to the members for a little bit. And on my way out, I was walking. I was trying to see Maya because she really impressed me that time, actually. And she actually stopped me. She's like, she found me before I could find her, and she's like, hey, you stop. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, thanks a lot for waving my pen light the whole time. And I'm like, oh, really cool. So yeah, that really kind of got to me. It's the first time that a member kind of, talked to me on their own. So I thought that was really cool. And from then on, I noticed more. And every concert, she makes eye contact with me. And yeah, so really a member that you can you can feel a bond with. Well, you can you really feel validated for your efforts, if that makes any sense. Like other members, you might try to make conversation, do a lot of things, and you might not get recognized for it. But Maya seems very, very good at that, at kind of maybe not fan service, but giving the fans something.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to see this in person end of this month. So
really?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that
like,
because?
Well, either I can confirm this or I can just say, whatever, my Oshis are better. So it's gonna be win-win.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
So yeah, and she's in popularity-wise, she's very in a good spot right now. Because yeah, I think at first management wanted to push her, so I think she was promoted first. And she was put in the Senbatsu with the Love Crescendo single, I think. And then she was out, but for a few months, check wise, she's doing way better. And yeah, pretty much you could see she got out of Senbatsu and not really want to say got serious, but it's serious business now, and yeah.
Yeah, she mentioned that in her blogs and in her interviews, where she's like, yeah, after I got out of Senbatsu, she's like, yeah, I just know that it's, if I ever want to go back, I have to focus on myself. So she said she didn't really think too much about getting back to Senbatsu. She's just like, I just concentrate on making myself better at the moment, and doing everything. And yeah, she got a lot more serious in that time. And one thing I have to say about her fans, like fan base wise, they're super organized compared to Chiri's Oshis that I know and other Oshi groups. They are really organized. They use a bunch of sites, and I take part of the meetings, and they are really, really well organized. So anyway, this year's goal is to rank in SKEncore for the first time, and I'm sure she's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident she's going to do it this year. And she it's a top 100 now.
Yeah,
so
top 100. But her goal is 65. Easier. We'll see.
Yeah, we have only 4 members left now, but we are already relatively long. So I think the best is we stop now and give the others a proper time, especially since we have Donchan there. So
yeah, Donchan and Tani.
We'll take
for
next week. We'll do these next week where we have more time to talk about them, and of course we will talk about the stage 2. And yeah, thank you for listening until this point, and I hope you'll be back next week too. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.